You're listening to Inklings of Insight. Sometimes the leaders don't have the right answers, and if you go in all of a sudden making all of these boundaries around how the organization can work, you can possibly create the box and tell everybody not to think outside the box, right? The whole idea of thinking outside the box is to be innovative, create solutions, be a problem solver. But if you basically create the box and tell everybody to stay in it, you're not going to get any ideas that might deal with the issues that you don't know.
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying. I'm even looking at this, the way the topic right up top when it says from top down to top notch. I've heard so many times in leadership circles that, the tone at the top is the one many times that dictates, what really happens eventually, with the whole organization. So if the tone at the top is such that it is a culture of intolerance to, things that are not supposed to be tolerated, or if it is a drive for innovation and stuff like that, then they can be able to sponsor and support, those initiatives throughout the organization. So I do agree with him on the part to say that, if you tell them what to do, then you might not get the productivity out of them. But I wish it was more clear around to say that is this communication or this telling them what to do? Are we talking about micromanagement, or are we talking about giving them the larger vision and then letting them execute, however you get to the end of, whatever the end result of that vision is going to look like? Like, for example, you can say to your department is that, okay, we have $3 billion in assets, okay, and our rate of return, our investors are expecting a 9.9% rate of return. That's the ongoing market return that they're expecting. So from the business leaders or from the VPs in the organization, I'm expecting us to get to that. How we get to that, I'm not dictating what you guys have to do, but I expect you that to operate within the policy and guidelines of the organizations. You're not going to violate the ethics and principles and things like that. That's the kind of communication that I'm envisioning. Not necessarily saying that I think I want you guys to deal with these kind of lenders, you have to deal with these kind of, the day-to-day operational aspects of the business. That's what I kind of had in mind in terms of drafting a vision, communicating the vision to your leaders, to your senior leaders, the top brass of the organization, and then hopefully they can cascade that and be able to support and sponsor that communication to the large organization, without necessarily micromanaging them. And I've seen a lot of micromanaging in terms of, how businesses are run. Like, for example, most organizations were not very flexible in terms of these work from home arrangements until COVID came around. Mm-hmm. Then people figured out, okay, we can actually work from home. They've tried it out before. Other organizations that I was in, they tried it out before and they saw that it actually works. But leaders, like especially middle, senior level leaders all the way down, they wanted to be able to see what you're doing, what you're browsing, what time you're coming in, what time you're leaving, until COVID came around and they were forced to actually look at productivity more so than what time you're waking up, what you're wearing, and all that stuff. That's not really contributing to productivity, if you may. That's the level of communication that I'm expecting. Mm-hmm. I agree with him that you cannot micromanage your way into innovative ideas and increase productivity and the true engagement that you want out of your employees.
That's great. Any other thoughts?
I was just going to say that anytime we as leaders start telling people, what is right, what is the right focus, then it takes away the creativity, creative thinking that our team members may have had, because now it's being very prescriptive. This is the right focus, this is the right way. And as the book says, the leader may not know what he or she does not know. And so when you start being directive and prescriptive like that, that just cuts away your team being creative and thinking outside the box, because they don't have to think anymore. So to me, that actually cuts down on productivity, it can cut down on sales and all those areas.
Thank you for listening to Inklings of Insight.